Okay, everyone, this is the Gadget Guru. This is going to be a follow-up on my Infernities video I did a while back. Lately, people have been talking to me saying that I got it all wrong, that I missed some of the cards, you know, some new TCG exclusives have been released, etc., etc. They want me to review it, you know, stuff like that. So I did so. About the last week, I've been reviewing Infernities. I've had one of my friends build a couple of different versions of Infernities they actually found online and stuff. So I want to go over just some of the cards real quick and explain what I think of the deck and that. First one, Infinity Gun. Once per turn, you can send one Infinity monster from your hand to the graveyard. If you have no cards in your hand, you can send this card from the field to the graveyard to special summon 2 Infinity monsters from your grave. Decent, helps get Infinity monsters out of your hand. You know, that's what you need to do. Second card, Infinity Archfiend. When you draw it and you have no cards in hand, you can special summon it and add one Infinity card from your deck to your hand. Pretty good. Not bad. Infinity Guardian. When you have no cards in hand, he can't be destroyed. Period. By nothing. So, he's pretty good. Infinity Necromancer. When you have no cards in hand, you can special summon one Infinity from your grave once per turn, except Necromancer. Next one, Infernity Force. When an Infinity monster you control is selected as an attack target, you can destroy that monster and special summon one Infernity, so it's a Saku and a Call the same thing. Not bad. Next one, Infinity Mirage. This card cannot be special summoned from the graveyard. You contribute it to special summon 2 Infinity monsters from your grave to your side of the field. Pretty good. Infinity Beetle. You can special summon, if you have no cards in hand, you contribute this card and special summon 2 Infinity Beetles from your deck. So they're level 2 tuners, so not bad. Infinity Revenger. When you have no cards in hand and when one of your Infinity monsters is destroyed by battle, you can special summon this guy. He gets the level of that monster. So tuner that comes back from the grave when they're killed by battle, though. That's the bad thing, is only by battle. One of their synchros, Infinity Death Dragon. 8-star synchro, 3000 attack. When you have no cards in hand, once per turn you can blow up one monster your opponent controls and inflict half its attack to your opponent. Not bad. 100 Eyes Dragon. 6-star monster. Level 8, 3000 attack. Once per turn, you can remove or play one dark monster in your graveyard, and it gains the effect and name until the end phase, so you can copy them sometimes with him. You know, abuse their effects more than once. Infinity Reflector. Activate by discarding your entire hand. When an Infinity monster you control is destroyed by battles in the graveyard, special summon that monster from the graveyard and inflict 100 to your opponent. You know, only if it inflicts like 1,000, yeah, I might see it, but it inflicts 100, and it has to be killed by battle. So, Infinity Break, activate only when you have no cards in hand. Obviously, they all have to have no cards in hand. That's the Infinity theme. They have to have no cards in hand. So, if I didn't say that on some of the other ones, don't crucify me. I assume you guys would know that they have to have no cards in hand. Remove from play one Infinity in your graveyard to destroy one card your opponent controls. And then last thing, Infinity Inferno. Blech. Discard up to 2 cards from your hand. Send up to 2 Infinity monsters from the deck to the graveyard equals the number of cards discarded. So, you know, looking over the cards again, I started, you know, I built a deck. I play tested it with some of my friends. We started looking over it, and we found some problems. The first problem we found was if you draw multiple monsters and you don't have to wait, you don't have a way of getting rid of them out of your hand, you're pretty much screwed. This deck requires no monsters in hand, or no cards in hand, so if you draw multiple monsters and you can't summon them in the same turn, it's like shit. So we tried a bunch of different things. We tried double summons. We tried, you know, stuff like find, discard 2 cards. We tried maybe Regeki Break, discard a card, get some effect off it. We tried a lot of different strategies to help out with that. And we really couldn't find any strategy to actually deal with it sufficiently and make it stable. Also in the same regard, we found another problem. This deck commits to the field very heavily. If you commit to the field with a bunch of monsters and they end up destroying them all or getting rid of them, you're in a lot of trouble. Yes, this deck can synchro well. Okay, I'll give it that. I synchro into a synchro, fine. You know the problem with that? Is it's one synchro, people. It's one synchro. Unlike Black Wizard, where you can just go synchro, 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 and you just synchro out the ass, this is one synchro. So, and I have seen them pull out 2 synchros in one turn, but it's not very common to see that. They usually pull out 1 synchro. And if you flip compulsory, or you know, you Bryonic that synchro or something, it all goes downhill. In my opinion, these cards are way too limited. The normal cards you have to have, for all the monsters, you must have no cards in hand. This means you have to have no other monsters in hand. So you have to run additional cards to support getting all the monsters out of your hand, which means you're taking up deck space for the other Infinity cards. Or it means you have to run very few monsters, which means A, you're going to run out of monsters, or B, you're not going to draw any. Both are very bad situations. Beyond that, all the cards that say, you know, discard monsters from your hand, discard this, they all have to do with battle. And that's another really annoying thing that I found. You know, Infernity Force, when they declare an attack and you have no cards in hand and you have an Infernity monster, so if they smashing ground that, or, you know, I don't know, brain control it and synchro it off or something, you can't use any of these cards. You know, it's Infernity Reflector. You can discard your hand, but it's only when a monster is destroyed by battle. So as long as they don't battle you, you can't hurt them. And plus, if you synchro into a synchro monster, you can't use half your cards anyway, because that synchro, there's only one Infernity synchro monster. Infernity Break, obviously, as long as you have an Infernity to remove, you can just go remove, destroy a card. It's not that bad. But the problem isn't the graveyard. Inferno is pretty good, actually. It says discard 2 cards, send 2 from your deck. So, you know, the issue I see here with this deck is all the effects are way too dependent. They have too much, like, they don't combine very well. They start contradicting each other, and it becomes such a pain in the ass to play them. Like, my friend built 3 separate decks. We proxied 3 separate decks. One deck was from Junkmaster 2004 or something. He has a Pojo account, and his was like the biggest thread there, so we proxied that. We found one on YouTube. I don't remember which one it was. I'll have to find it again, and I'll try and post a link in the sidebar to it. And then we found another one on YF.com, Yu-Gi-Oh! Forums, and we proxied it too. I mean, we've proxied a bunch of them and tried them, and we've really tried to give this deck its due its due day, but it keeps failing us. We don't know what to do, honestly. So while we hate saying a deck is bad, we're officially going to say this one is bad, you know? I mean, I hate doing it, but I honestly think it is. I think everything is way too dependent to do any good. Yeah, you know, 100 Eyes Dragon and the other synchro are kind of cool. I mean, they look badass, obviously. I mean, I'm not going to deny that. They look badass, but in the end, I think they're all way too dependent. I think they're too restricted. They require too many things to be absolutely perfect to activate. So, my review opinion on this deck is it's not. I don't think it's gonna be top tier. Probably tier 2. Tier 2, I don't doubt. I wouldn't really mind calling it a tier 2 deck. But tier 1, I don't think so. So, this has been the Gadget Guru's opinion on my review of the Infernities and all their new cards they've gotten and all that. You know, we got some TCG exclusives, which is nice, but in the end, I don't think it's enough, to be honest. So, this is the Gadget Guru. I'll talk to y'all later, and catch you next time.